cannot do. There's no mountain you cannot move. If you have said it, then you will do it. You have a track record of keeping your word, and you're not about to stop doing it now. You shed, we have overcome. This touchdown I'll created for life. When you gave us the right to your holy name, the scepter of power and strength. There is nothing you cannot change. There's no mountain you cannot break. If you have said it, then He will do it. You have a track record of keeping your word, and you're not about to stop doing it now. He is mighty. Just listen to the song. Don't rush. You are mighty. You are mighty. You are mighty. Receive your healing. Receive your miracles. He's the mighty God. You're mighty. You're mighty. Mighty one. Mighty one. Mighty one. Hey. There's a part coming. I want you to listen. Hey. You are mighty. 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 It's coming. Just wait. It's coming. You are mighty. Listen. Hallelujah. If I leave you people, you won't go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All those lovely comments. Wow. Magita, welcome. Julia, thank you so much. I love you too, Magita. Nanaraba, thank you. Thank you, Kinskade. And the comments are beautiful. Favor, thank you so much. Egbeta. Today, dear, you made it. Thank God. Welcome. Lorraine, welcome. I have two Lorraines here now. Lady Pastor Lorraine and Lorraine as well. Welcome. Sewa, I have missed you. Welcome. Juliet, hey, celebrity chef Bakope. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Iradra, welcome. Wow, it's great to have everybody here. And forgive my eyes. I get emotional every time I listen to Nathaniel Bassey's song Olorun Agbaye, which means you are mighty. There's nothing God cannot do. You see, even this one we are coming to discuss, how is my daughter going to be different? Give her this song and let her dance. After your daughter has danced to this song, she'll be different. By default, she'll be different. Because the mighty God has entered her. She'll be different. Don't worry. Okay, the tears will go away after some time, but don't worry. Welcome. Let's go straight to the point. Now, I chose this topic. How can my daughter... Me again, Please, let's pray. Father, thank you so much for a gathering like this, for these beautiful people you've brought here today. May your words touch them, and may their lives and their daughters be one of a kind and transformed for the world to see. Amen. All right, so... Wow, it's a question a lot of mothers ask. How is my daughter going to be different? Am I doing the right thing? Fathers look at their children and wonder, is she going to pick the right guy if she's of age? Am I being a good dad? You know, a whole lot of questions. The truth is that you as a parent, you can't do it all, but you can definitely do something to set the ball rolling in the right direction. And that's what we are going to attempt to do today with the mighty God, Olorun Agbaye, who is going to help us to do it. Now remember, you always have the chance to ask any question, to make any of those beautiful comments you always make in the comment section, and I'll be reading them, and I'm sure they'll be helping me. Don't forget to start a watch party so that everybody who is not here with us can join. How can my daughter be different? For those of us who don't have daughters, don't say this message is not for you. It's for you. Your child is going to grow up and pick a best friend. He may be a male. He's going to choose a wife later in future. If he decides to get married, he's going to choose a wife. You're going to need a daughter-in-law who is different. If you still have a daughter who you think is done already, she's going to pick a friend. So some of these things are going to help all of us in different ways to achieve what we want to achieve. Let's go. Now, for your daughter to be different, you have to be different. That's the first step. You as a parent must be different. The child must see a difference in you. The child must see something that the child doesn't see in other people. Hi, Barbara Princess. Welcome. The child must see something different that she does not see in other people. Now, before I go on, before I forget, you see this lovely beads I have around my neck. It was made by Barbara. B buttons or April Modesta. Hook her up and you will always have so many nice different pieces. Okay. So, Judith, welcome. You have to be different as a father. You have to be different as a mother so that the child can pick that difference and work with it. Whatever the child sees is definitely what our child is going to copy. We hear that all the time. You're like, so I joined Reina Speaks to hear everything I've been hearing. It actually is everything you've been hearing already. Just with a little bit of spice from Reina. That's what makes it a difference, you see. Like I said, the child must see a difference, pick that difference and run with it. So there are some things I'm going to mention. We are going to tell the child which things are acceptable and which things are not acceptable. And we will start it very early. Don't wait until your child is 5 years old. Don't wait until your child is 10 years old. Don't say, I said this in my one of my previous talks we did last year. Don't ever say my child is too young to learn. In fact, the children that have come these days, what we were using 3 years to learn, they used 2 weeks to learn. So any time is good. I saw a 6-month-old baby, and the mother was asking that child, where is your hair? Then the child would point. Your hair. She asked about 10 body parts, and the child showed all those body parts. So I put it on my status, and I wrote, the syllabus is too high for some parents. When you are teaching them, their children thinks, no, it's too much. They can't learn. My brothers and sisters, the children that have come, there's nothing that they cannot. In fact, the things that they know, if you knew, you will be shocked. So the first thing, I will mix them up. The things that are acceptable, the things that are not acceptable, and then we go from there. Now, the very first thing that I was led to write about is that tantrums are very, very unacceptable. Tantrums. Children can throw tantrums anywhere, anyhow, anywhen. Anywhere, anyhow, anywhen. Whenever it suits them. They must not be encouraged to throw tantrums for things they can't have. So you go to the store with your child, and the child decides that, okay, you see this flood of people, my mother is not going to want me, or my father is not going to want me, or my parents are not going to want me to misbehave here. So this is the time where I pick those things that they would naturally not give to me. The child walks to the sweet section. It may be a child. Sometimes it's even a grown-up. You have 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds doing the same thing. It's never too late to retrain your child to fit differently, you know. So the child walks up to this child you have walks up to the sweet section and picks out sweets. And then when you don't give the child the sweet, the child begins to scream. I don't know how many of us have encountered children like that at the supermarket or the mall or wherever. The child begins to scream and make noise. Now, to calm the child down, the parent then says, you take. Wrong. It's not a you take thing. You can decide to just bring out your phone and punch something on the phone while the child throws their tantrum. So punch. Make a call, laugh as loudly as you can, and then you can leave the child lying there, but don't go too far away. Just move where you can still see the child, but you can still do your shopping. I'm telling you, the maximum is 2 minutes. And that child will be up from the floor and forget about that toffee, forget about that toy, forget about whatever they picked. If it goes on longer than 2 minutes, it's because it has been encouraged. And so the child is used to getting what they want. So the child knows that if he or she goes a bit longer, you will. And believe me, the way you are going to try and retrain the child is also going to try and retrain you as a parent. Okay, the first time I did 2 minutes, that didn't work. Let me try 5. Let me try 15. And let me try 10. 20. How about an hour? Do you think they can go for an hour? Yes, you can. You must teach the children from beginning that a tantrum is very, very unacceptable. You want something, you throw a tantrum. If I was even going to give you the thing, I will not give it to you anymore. Number 2, using her body or body parts to get attention is not acceptable. Using her body or body parts to get attention is not acceptable. You're welcome. Rather, she should use her intellect and her talents. So if you are with your girl child somewhere, you know, and somebody says, your daughter is very beautiful, you should have a beautiful smile and say thank you. But when your child says something and the person says, wow, your child is intelligent, you say, wow, that should be a party thing. You see, when the person says your child is intelligent, you should feel, oh, wow, did you hear that, Joa? You are intelligent. Wow, give yourself a round of applause. Instead of you are beautiful, she's beautiful. No, what you are teaching your child is that my beauty can get me what I want. My beauty can get me attention. And very soon, she will begin to use their body parts to get the attention. Sometimes I'm appalled at the stuff I see on TikTok. Girls as young as 14, 15, 13, wearing bum shorts, shaking their bums my bum is bigger. If I want to shake it, it's not a problem. But you see, shaking it for the whole world to see, no. Privately shaking it for your husband to see is fine. It's his. Shake it all you want. But if not, they should not be doing that. You see, on TikTok, you see, I moved in with my boyfriend. I moved in with this. I moved in with that. And they are on TikTok and their parents are okay. No, it's wrong. Her body is not her selling point. Her intellect, her talent is important. If your child can talk, explore that. Let your child do the talking. If your child can think, when you have a thinking issue, call your child. You say, let's think about this. What do you think mommy should do? What do you think daddy should do? And everybody are twerking. You can twerk in front of your husband, but not in front of TikTok. It's allowed to. It must twerk in front of your husband. But TikTok, I don't know why you are trying to twerk today. I remember seeing a little post by a man today on TikTok saying that don't shake your booty to us. It's not nice. You see, so the girls are taught to think that if I have a nice backside, if I have nice breasts, that's what the men want. So these days, you see, please, those who are new, on Rena Speaks, we say it as it is. So if you don't like it as it is, wrong talk show. We say it as it is. Thank you. You see a small girl of 2 years old, 3 years old. The mother has on a very short skirt on that child and a show your stomach top. Oh, she's a child. She won't know. She will. She will. When she grows up, she's going to want to continue wearing the miniskirt. But we are in the modern world. You see, the topic, just in case we are forgetting a bit, is that we want our daughter to be different. So in the modern world, it's acceptable. For those who want to be different, it is not. Nowhere is it written, not in the world and not in any religion, is it written that showing your body part is what makes you modernized. It seems like the more advanced we become, the less clothes we wear. It's whether we are going back to the Stone Age or Ice Age or whatever age it is, So body parts are not acceptable. I always use this example, that when the princes were getting married, all these Nicki Minaj people and what people that normally would dress very some way, all of them were covered up. That's those who went. I don't think Nicki Minaj went, but there are some people who went. And they were all covered from head to toe. If only you wanted to attend that wedding, there was a dress code. If only you want your daughter to be different, to be seen differently, to be addressed differently, then there is a dress code. The dress code is intellect and talents, not body parts. Thank you. Number 3, this is very common these days. Dancing in public to any kind of song to win applause or show dancing prowess is not acceptable. You go to a kids' party, then they'll just put up some song. And the children will be whining their waist, jumping, moving, and mothers are excited. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just weird. But why should a mother be excited that her daughter has the ability, a father be excited that his daughter has the ability to move her waist in that manner at 4? At 4 years old. You may not see it now, and you may not understand it now, but it has a telling effect. Anything your child feels comfortable doing at 18, leaving her nipples out, showing parts of her breast, wearing bum shorts, it did not start when she got to the university. It started when she was at home. There was a certain acceptance of things. For example, if you have relatives who live abroad, when they come to Ghana and they come and lodge with you, they want to do whatever they like. That's wrong. And you must let them know that that's abroad. Where you live that's your territory. But you are in my territory now. And in my territory, I don't allow my young lady, my daughter, to wear short things. So when you see that when you allow them to do so, when your daughter grows and you say, oh, go and visit your aunt, she's excited. Because when she's going to her aunt, she's going to be allowed to do anything. She knows that when she goes and comes, you allow her to wear those things. Because you say, oh, this one, she went abroad and came not long, so she went to pick. We take so much delight. Oh, she went abroad and came not too long ago, so she has gone to pick their lifestyle. She was there for 3 months and she has gone to pick lifestyle. Then if she's there for 15 years, she will pick lifestyle, hairstyle, breathing style, walking style, every style, hat wearing style, everything. So dancing in public to any kind of song Your child should not be able to fathom in their head that this song is playing and I want to go and dance. When they look at you and look at their father, they are like, this thing, it's a death trap. These people, they are trying to trap me. I won't do. All right. Now, wearing short and exposing clothes or loud jewelry, hairstyles, and clothing for attention is not acceptable. Me, I have a policy in my house. Until you are grown enough to pay your own bills and buy your own clothes, what I buy is what you wear. Full stop. I will let you choose sometimes. If I let you choose and you choose what is within my jurisdiction, we are good to go. And I can afford it, we are good to go. You choose what is not within my jurisdiction, you can't get it. Except you have your own money to get it. Then that one is a different issue on its own. And seeing as you don't have any money yet, we are sticking to my rules, which is we cover ourselves properly. I don't agree to children putting on Q-Tex. I don't agree. The most I will agree to is lip gloss in the Hamatan season so that their lips don't crack. If I get lip balm, then we are sticking to lip balm. If I have Vaseline, PMF, oil, cooking oil, what is the name? Frytol. That one is okay. But it's just your lips you don't want to crack. So we can apply that one and we can flow from there. May my makeup, also why makeup. Who is who? You see? Long earrings, those things, no. At all. You are not at that age. Don't say my daughter is 18. You see, stop doing. You see, what we fail to do all the time is we don't realize that the truth is the Europeans want to go back to how the world used to be, where parents used to be in control. That's why a lot of them are marrying a lot of black people, because we have control and we love our culture, and yet we are rushing over there to go and bring those things here. So why you remember PMF, eh? All right. So no wearing of short and exposing clothes or loud jewelry, hairstyles, and clothing for attention is not acceptable. You want to show everybody that this is your daughter. So when you are going somewhere, you have a way you dress the child. A way you dress the child so that everybody will see that that is your child. No. I always say that if you let a child stick out too much, people just begin to notice the child unnecessarily. And by people, I mean both good and bad people. All right. If your child is old enough to have a phone, having a password on her phone while she lives with you is not acceptable. Yes. If she still lives in your house, no matter how old she is, having a password on her phone when she lives with you is not acceptable. Okay, let me be a bit lenient. Maybe from the age of when they finish university and have a job, they can have passwords on their phone. I want my privacy in my house. You want your privacy in my house? Really? No. You can't have your privacy in my house. It's not our house. When I built the house, you were not there. When we bought the house, you were not there. So it's not ours. You didn't contribute anything to it. So it's not our house. It's my house. You have the privilege of living in it because you are my bona fide child. And I love you. I don't want to throw you out on the street so that you don't have anywhere to go. So as far as you live in my house and you are still school-going age, you cannot have passwords on your phone. And no, you cannot have privacy. I watched another TikTok. A mother and father were trying to get into the young lady's room, and she had locked the door. When they come, she has locked the door. So the mother just took off the hinges of the door and removed the door. And people on TikTok were saying, that's a bad mother. I said, excuse my language, nonsense there. What do you mean by it is a bad mother? The day she's locked in there and she has a seizure or something, the same people will go and say you are still a bad mother because you did not know your daughter was having a seizure. So until you are earning your own money, buying your own clothes, paying your own bills, you cannot have if you are still eating from me and all that poor, you can still not have a password on your phone. That's all. All right. The next one is watching movies and shows past her bedtime is not acceptable. Children from babies up to the age of, let me not give an age, let me say up to junior secondary school, even senior secondary school, should not be awake past 10 o'clock. As for grade school down to preschool, by 8 they should be asleep. JHS and SHS, you can give them 9 or 10 depending on what suits you, because they are older, but they have to sleep to be able to study. They should not be awake past a certain time. My children used to have something that they will do. When you say that they should sleep, they have now remembered that they are hungry. I watched the thing and realized that these children, they wait until around 8:30 when I'm coming to say, go and sleep at 9. Then they get hungry. So I will also wait. I won't say anything to you. When I say, go and sleep, and you say you are hungry, I'll say, go and pray. When you pray, the hunger will go. And they realize it won't work, so they stopped. So they stopped. So no, when you set a rule, make sure they are abiding by the rule. Make sure they are abiding by the rule. All right. Now the next point is, certain movies at a certain age are not acceptable. Certain movies at a certain age. When we used to encanted, the Ghanaians, when we say encanted, we mean in those days. If you were sitting with your parents and a certain movie came up and they were kissing, you see that all of a sudden you want to wee. You've seen a cockroach, you want to go and kill. You see something that needs killing, something that needs moving. Hey, these days the children that have come, they want to look at the thing with you. It's like they have skills that they have to learn. They are looking at the thing with you in the TV. So your children should not, even now, certain cartoons cannot be watched. Certain cartoons cannot be watched. Now there are so many what do you call this? Is it Nickelodeon? Or me, I don't watch TV, so some of these things I don't know the names. That the children watch, teaching them how to have boyfriends, girlfriends, talk back at their parents. It's like airfare. Those things are not. You see, everybody and how it will work out for them. So make sure that your children don't watch things that don't have the values and the principles you want to impart to them. Reading books is much better than watching TV series that don't bring anything. Don't use TV as a way to get rest. When you want to rest or you want to have time to yourself, then you go and put on the TV and leave them in front. Whatever channel they are watching, you don't mind. It's wrong. All right. Now the next one is that disrespectful behavior in public is not acceptable. Disrespectful behavior in public is not acceptable. I have been a teacher at an international school before. And what I realize is that some of the children are okay when they are at home. But when they are picked by their parents at the school and they see their friends exhibiting a certain kind of behavior, they do it to their parents. And even though the parents are not comfortable with it, what they do is that because there are people around, they leave it. By the grace of God, none of my children try that. You see how cool and nice I'm sitting here? When it comes to certain things, I don't have this cool demeanor that I have at all. I'm their parent. I'm not their friend. So what you don't want to have any result from, don't try it around me. And it must start when they are young. My sisters, our daughters must be different too. The way the world is going, my brothers, your daughter must be different. The way the world is going, if you don't make your child different, they will fall into the norm of what everybody is doing. I'm telling you, it will not benefit you. It won't. So disrespectful behavior. I'm talking to you in public, then you are on your phone. You are not lifting your head to look at what I'm saying because you are on your phone and we shouldn't say it. I will seize the phone for 1 month and you won't have it. You've seen your friends in public, so I'm talking to you, then you're like, oh, mommy, I'm coming, mommy, I'm coming. You are, mommy, you like that, I'm coming. Hey, what about that one thing? Then when we get home, you now want to come back to your normal self. No, it's not acceptable at all. The next point is bad friends are not acceptable. Friends, your daughter has friends, and the only time they want to call your daughter is at 10 p.m. The only time they want to call your daughter is at 12 midnight. When they are coming to your house, they are dressed anyhow. No. They don't speak nicely to their parents. They are not nice to their parents. They don't respect their parents. All those things. No, not at all. You call the friends and you let them know that in my house, this is how it's done. Or you let your child know in my house, this is how it's done. And you will not be accepting any other thing apart from what you have said. All right. Wanting to always be in someone else's house is not acceptable. Your girl child always wants to be in somebody else's house because they feel that they have more freedom there. No. They feel they have freedom there. And so they are more comfortable. They feel their house is a prison. And this other house is better. And as the Europeans these days, it's because you have put the person, you are what is the word they use? You don't give them, you don't let them be themselves. You can't be yourself in my house. I said that. When you start working, you are paying your own bills in your flat, doing your own things. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because that one, the consequence comes directly to you. But while you're in my house, you cannot be yourself and bring consequence to me. No. So wanting to always be in somebody's house, eat somebody's food, wear somebody's clothing, teach your children to value the things you do in your house. So you must also be proud about the things you do in your house and do them with consistency. Attach seriousness and consistency to them, and then anytime there's a good result from something you told the children to do or from something that you are seeing in your house, let them know. You see that in this house we already do this already. You see that we do this. Then you are putting their mind to, you see, the last time when I said don't go out at this time, had you gone, you see, there was a car that hit all these people. When you say that, as you keep saying that, you are drawing the child's mind to the fact that it means that what we are doing is good. When one of them goes out and somebody says, this your child is very well behaved. When you get to me, you see, because you were so well behaved. See how the man really appreciated you. See how the woman really appreciated you. You see, those things are helping the child to understand that, so mommy and daddy are actually helping me and not trying to not let me be me. Now, foul language is not acceptable. Fuck. Oh shit. Hey, what's that? No. A word I see many young ladies use. Never mind. Never mind. Whatever. Hey. Whatever. Never mind. You won't eat for 3 days. You will do fasting. Never mind. It's wrong. It's very disrespectful. Oh, nothing. I just wanted to do it. It's disrespectful. So foul language is not acceptable in your house. And you see, all these things that are not acceptable, there must be consequences to them. Magdalene, welcome. Rita, welcome. John Kwejo Panfo, welcome. Emmanuel Boachi Ansa, welcome. Thank you for joining us. There must be consequences to things that are not right, just as there must be rewards to those that are right. Never mind the saying. No, we mind. That's why we are talking about it. So those things are not acceptable. Now, these are the things that are acceptable. Scolding is acceptable. You do something that you should not have done. We will call you, sit you down, and give you a scolding. I am your parent. I should be able to raise my voice to whatever level I want. I see so many posts these days. Control your temper. If you're a parent, don't shout too much. If you shout, you scare the children. That's the whole point, isn't it? I'm trying to scare my child into believing that is not the right thing. Especially if I have sat down with you to talk about it 1, 2, 3 times. The next time it's not going to be a talking to. It's going to be a shouting at. And no, I'm not scaring my child. Does my child know the things I go through to give them what they want and what they need? So something that is going to cause trouble is not something I should be, lower your voice. Shouting at the children doesn't bring anything. If you shout, they don't get the message. It is not always that we keep it low. There are times that your child must see that mommy is upset, daddy is upset, and is not happy with what I did. There's nothing wrong with it. When Jesus was angry, what did he do? Did he walk into the temple and say, you see, you people, this house should be a house of prayer. And you people have turned this house into a house. I've been telling you people, you're not minding me. The Bible says he took out a whip, grown-ups, not children, and he whipped them. So don't let the devil bring his ideologies and creep into the word of God and say things that don't exist. The Bible says that there is foolishness in the heart of a child, and the rod of correction will straighten it. You see? So scolding is acceptable. Accountability is acceptable. Your children should know that it is okay for you to ask. The last time you gave your child money for a pencil, the following morning the child comes to tell you that the pencil is finished. You ask the child, why did the pencil get finished? At what time did it get finished? Who did you give it to? A full pencil. What did you people write? Bring me all the homework you people were given, or give me all the things you wrote in class. Why your pencil? It's called accountability. The child should be able, or whoever it is should be able, the daughter should be able to tell you why it is finished. Anybody who has lived with me before knows that I have certain, for example, a full bottle of oil. Let's say I buy a 5-liter container of oil, and you tell me in a week that it is finished. Ask the young ladies who live with me. If you are working, you will buy it. You will buy it. If you have used 1 week to be able to finish 5 liters of oil, hey, is it swimming lessons you were doing with it? You will buy it. Wherever you get the money is your own business. You will buy it. You must make people accountable for their actions, accountable for the words they speak, accountable for what they do. So your daughter must know that I cannot get a dress today and it tears. I cannot get a pencil today and it's lost. I cannot be given something, then it's like, because it's not my money, because I'm not the one who put energy into getting the money to buy it, let me just use it anyhow. No, it's not acceptable. Responsibility is acceptable. Responsibility is acceptable. You are in charge of this. In 2 weeks' time, I will come back to find out what is this. You are responsible for sweeping here every morning. You are responsible for washing the dishes every week. You are responsible for doing this every week. You see, give the person responsibilities. Make sure your children don't make sure your sisters don't do this. Your brothers don't do this. That is responsibility. Are we getting it? Please excuse me. Please, whose radio is on? You are making noise. I'm doing a live. You see, this is what I'm talking about. And it's a very good example. Somebody just walks in. I'm having a live show. The person doesn't understand and then has his radio on. So I sort it out immediately. And it's a grown-up. It's not a child. A very powerful example. So responsibility is acceptable. You should be responsible enough to know that mommy is having a live. I cannot have my radio on. I cannot be shouting people's name when mommy is having a live. It is a very good example. So as I sit here now, I'm thinking about the consequences of what just happened. And when I'm done, we will talk about it. All right. Please distract Mamila. Okay. All right. The next one is that house chores are acceptable. House chores are acceptable. Your children, your girl child especially, don't let her be fooled by this Beijing conference things. She must work. It's a must work. She must know how to clean. She must know how to cook. She must learn how to be responsible for herself. What if she doesn't get married and she lives on her own? Who is going to do all that for her anyway? When she goes to the university, who is going to do all that for her? So house chores are acceptable. Don't let the maids do everything and your child is sitting there. Sarah, you have a military background. I don't know. You see, who is going to do the chores for her? There's a maid who washes. There's a maid who cleans. The maid have their purpose. I remember, I never forget. My father used to have a washing machine. When you go and put your things inside, he will tell you that it's for me and my wife. When you grow up and you buy a washing machine, then you put your clothes inside. So go and wash with your hands. We had a maid going up, but we used to do every single thing with the maid. Cooking, cleaning, scrubbing, everything. So house chores for a girl are acceptable. My daughter is intelligent. She wants to be a doctor, so she doesn't know how to sweep. She can't even cook water. No. Your daughter can't be different. Do you know that the awe in knowing that she's a doctor, she can cook good meals, she's a good housekeeper. The awe in the fact that she can multitask. It's amazing. There are so many women today who know how to do this makeup I've done. Who know how to dress very well. They can't cook. Excuse me. They cannot cook. When you say it, I'll marry a rich man. We'll eat out. I'll get a maid. You have not married, you have a maid. You see. So, cooking, chores are acceptable. Cooking is acceptable. Forgive me for bragging. My small daughter, she's 11. She can cook. Anybody who knows me knows that what I'm saying is not. But me, I won't get up and come and make your breakfast for you. Hey, 11. You can't fry egg. I have to get up and come and fry egg for you. And make Milo for you. Debbie, I need my beauty sleep. How do you think I'm looking like this? Beauty sleep. And prayer. So she cooks. Basic food. And it's nice. So don't make it look like cooking is for a select few. All you have to do is work hard and get your money. And when you get your money, you can choose to cook or not. It is not true. It is not even, you see, you're not even teaching the child responsibility. You are not teaching the child responsibility. Manners are acceptable. Manners are acceptable. When she goes somewhere, she must sit well. She must use please and thank you and sorry. She must not just be anywhere, anyhow. Manners are. I pick so many young people in my car, and one of the things I cannot stand, I have never said it anyway, but it's not a good manner. They sit in your car and make calls and laugh. Immediately they sit in your car, a car that glasses are rolled up and what do you call aircon is blowing. Whatever, man, Hey, you're my cow. Young people, you are at a meeting, they are just getting up and leaving the place anyhow because of phone. It is not a good manner. Obian can't tell me, I'm telling you, it is not. It is not. So good manners are acceptable. Reading is acceptable. Reading is acceptable. Let your daughter do a lot of reading. She should read recipe books. She should read the dictionary. Yes, we read the dictionary. Read books on women, how to be the power of a praying woman, how to be God's own woman, anything woman that will mold her into what you want. Let her read a lot. Once a while, check on her. What page have you read to? What don't you understand? It builds her up. There's a book called Every Woman. When she's of age, you have to give it to her. She must read. Your daughter at a certain age should be able to read at least 2 or 3 books every week that are building her up. They are molding her into that different person that you want her to be. Very important. Reading and watching the right things. These two, they build a girl child up faster than you would ever think. Questions asked respectfully to find information and not to be sarcastic are acceptable. Questions asked respectfully to find information and not to be sarcastic are acceptable. Eraja, did you put the blender back in the box? Duh. I'm on social media like slap will follow. Slap. Duh, now what can you know? Slap, so that in Nigeria we call it brain resetter. You see, maybe your brain has just shifted to the left like that. So when we hit you, no, the left is here. So when we hit you this way, then it will be in the middle. You see, We've gone out. I'm saying, oh, please, did you bring the car keys? Obviously. Obviously saying. I don't understand. Why obviously? No. Mommy, so do you think that I'll be sitting here if I've not done it? It's a very bad question. Do you think I'll be sitting here if I've not done it? No. So teach your girl child to ask questions respectfully to find information and not sarcastically or rudely. No. Staying out of adult business is acceptable. Staying out of adult business is acceptable. One of the things I see these days, I have a school. When I go to the school, the kind of things the children say, parents, please be careful. Do you know the kind of things your children tell us about you? When you come to the school, you are doing shakara to us. Do you know the things your children tell us about you? Fine protocol, let us just hold it in and know that this is just a child's thing, so we keep quiet about it. It is because when you are having conversation, your child is sitting there. Theodora, English madam, obviously. Yes. When you are having conversations about your friends, about their teachers, about even the two of you, what happened in the night, your child is sitting there. So they know everything that happens. Yes, we hear a lot of things about parents. I'm telling you, you have no idea. So learn to let children stay out of adult business. Girls especially. When my friends walk into my house, my children walk out. I have something called relocate. Immediately, if I see that you are not willingly relocating, in front of the visitor, I'll say, please, you have not relocated or relocate. What conversation are we going to have that you want to be part? I was born in the 70s. You were born in the 2000s. Look at the gap in the middle. What conversation am I going to have that you can contribute to? So let children stay out of adult business. You have visitors, you are talking, then your child just comes to interrupt you. Mommy, it's wrong. Drive the person back. Go. When I finish talking, then you come. She's a girl. She must be graceful. In tree, I can't say, it means she has to have a certain glory of her face. Approaching her should be with caution. When people see her, they should be awed. That's how a woman should be, graceful and honorable. You see. So when you have visitors, your child should not just walk in. I said it must start at a very early age. It doesn't matter how old the child is. 2, 3. She cannot come crying from the other room. Because she has seen a visitor and she's looking for attention. So she's just making noise. You say, please, excuse me. Then you carry her back into the room and tell her that if you come out there again, I'll beat you. She's not hungry. If she wants to sleep, there's a bed. She knows how to sleep. She's 2. She's just looking for attention. All right. Good grades are acceptable. Good grades are acceptable. The new thing I hear is that we don't want exams. Exams don't really determine who people are. You see, this white people, laziness is causing them to bring all kinds of funny things. Favor, mommy, when are we have a session for boys? Next week is the boys session. Don't worry. Next week we have the boys session. Laziness. We don't need exams. You don't need exam. What do you need? You can't put a monkey and a fish inside the sea and say swim. But we have not put a monkey and a fish inside the sea. Are you a monkey and am I a fish? We are 2 human beings. 2 human beings put in the same class at the same age, taught the same thing. We should be able to have an exam and a test to determine who is getting it and who is not getting it. We have been colonized from it's like no matter what happens, what they say is the best thing. No matter what happens, what they are saying is correct. We will not even go and look at ours to see if it's working or not. They have said it, so it's working fully. Good grades are acceptable. If your child gets good grades, throw her a family party. Take her out to eat. Take her somewhere to buy a dress. Celebrate good grades. Celebrate intelligence. Celebrate talent. Always make room for talent to be seen, if that is what she has. If she can sing, take her to places where she can sing. Be there to chaperone. Don't leave her there. Another thing I say, let me chip this in. There are so many mothers who can just leave their girl children with anybody to look after. Oh, where they are where do I know of? No. Because people you leave your children with also, they may not, they may not molest them or anything. But then the children are also picking a certain kind of character from them. Once you give birth, your whole time and everything, most of your time should be with, especially if it's a girl. Being bored at home is acceptable. Use the time to think. If your child says, I'm bored, mommy, I'm bored, daddy, I'm bored, tell the person it's normal. You also get bored. And when you are bored, you do very, very constructive things. So if the child just says, I'm bored, find work for the person. That one dish in the sink, please wash it for me. I saw that there was a little dust on the picture frames. Please clean it for me. Come and read 6 lines of your book to me. Always, the ask for boredom, it won't stop today. It will not stop tomorrow. In this COVID era too, boredom is very high. Play games with them, swim with, do something with them. But let them know that being bored is normal. When you don't let them know that being bored is normal, when they are bored, they want to find something to do. But being bored is normal. Even as a grown-up, you get bored. Hilda, welcome. Getting up early is acceptable. Remember, we are still talking about how can my daughter be different. Getting up early is acceptable. But mommy, she's only 10. Will she not go to school? Have you been to Accra before? People brush their teeth in the car. Children who live very far away from the school wake up as early as 4:30 a.m. Some eat breakfast in the car. Some brush their teeth in the car. Some comb their hair in the car. So getting up early is acceptable. Yes, there are days you can leave them to sleep. Me, on Saturdays, I don't wake my children early. You have your chores. Whatever time you wake up on Saturday, you will do them. Your homework and everything. But the children must learn to wake up and help you in the house. You should not be running around. You have a child who is 8 and up. 8 to cry, 7, 6. Can they not pick up things from the floor? Can they not dust? Can they not cut bread? These days in this world, there's nothing a child can do. We have plastic knives that can't cut them, but can cut through carrots, that can cut through this. So they can help you. They can get up early. They actually want to. You'll be surprised. The children actually want to get up with you and help you. It's just that their bodies have not learned how to do it. So you should be able to do it. You may not wake them up early every single day, but maybe twice a week, thrice a week, she should be able to get up and help you. By the time she grows up, the Bible says, teach a child the way in which she should go. And when she grows up, she will not depart from it. All right. Using please, thank you, and sorry are acceptable. I talked about it. Using please, thank you, and sorry. Please, mom, can I have this? Please, dad, can I have this? Please, brother, when they are talking to each other, tell them to be polite to each other. Please, thank you, sorry. She must use it as much as she can. Remember, like I said, a lady must be graceful and honorable. All right. Smiling is acceptable and is the only makeup needed until a certain age. Smiling. Learn how to smile. I mean, no, if you don't have makeup on and you know how to smile, I'm telling you, it is one of the best things you could give anybody. A child that does not know how to smile, a girl that does not know how to smile, is not beautiful. The women who always have their faces squeezed, they are not pretty. When you smile, your face lights up, your eyes light up, and people are naturally drawn to you. Mommy, if she smiles too much, will it not attract certain people? If she also squeezes her face, it will attract certain people to her. So which is better? And that's why we said you teach responsibility. So as she is smiling, you show her who to smile to, who not to smile to, who to deprive of her smile, who to suddenly stop smiling at. All those things taught. But smiling is an accessory. And it's a very good beautiful makeup only up to until a certain age. Depriving her of certain privileges is acceptable. Depriving her of certain privileges is acceptable. She cannot have everything all the time, every time. She should be able to use her black shoes for the next 2 to 3 years. When the mouth opens, you see the mouth of the shoe, then you know the mouth of the shoe. When the mouth of the shoe opens, take it to the shoemaker. Go with her and show her that the shoemaker can, you don't have to buy another one. The shoemaker can work on it. You show it to the shoemaker. The shoemaker does, you see, is as good as new. You've taught her something. You've taught her that she doesn't always need new things. Sometimes her hair is allowed to look scruffy. Who is she going to bore life to? It's allowed. Mommy, won't I do my hair next week? Next week. Mommy, why? I'm still on gathering money to go and do your hair for you. Don't worry. When I have the money, you do the hair. Creating complicated situations so that they can get out of it is acceptable. Parents of today, what has come over us? Our children don't know how to endure small hardship. Do we think that when the world is going to be soft with our children, when they grow up and they go out there, do you think the world will be soft with them? Create obstacle courses. Make things difficult for them so that they use their brain to think and get out of it. Your child is trying to pick a coin from the floor. Immediately you rush and you go and pick the coin for the child. Leave the child to find a way to pick the coin off the floor by herself. Your child is trying to put on her shoe. She's struggling. You don't want to see her struggle to put on. You go and help her to put. Let her put on the shoe. Find a way to put on the shoe. Those are obstacle courses. Those are ways where those situations are complicated. And when she of her own finds a way to work it out, she's motivated to find a way to work the next thing out. Many discoveries were made because people just kept trying things. These days it's like our children are so gold. They can't do anything for themselves. It is because of that even our immune systems are compromised. Children are always in air-conditioned cars. No, they don't breathe in the real air that we have. So their immune system is not used to that air. We don't want our children to eat with their hands. Everything is at their disposal. Their brains are not working how it should. Their brains are asleep. That's why they kill themselves anyhow. They get out of relationships anyhow, because that's why they are not grateful. Because they have not been through that thing themselves. So they don't know why you are fussing about, you gave me 5 cedis, so what? What is 5 cedis? Because the person himself has not learned how to make 5 cedis. You must take your child to go and live with somebody for a period. When I say live with, maybe your aunt. Oh, this holiday you are going to live with your aunt, because things are not the same there as they are here. And let the child understand and see that life is not only what goes on in my house. These people have nothing, yet they are able to survive. If your child gets a small scratch on the knee, what you will do to the teacher? I remember there was a mother I had in the school. The child came to school and the child used his own nail to scratch the eye hair. You know, children, when they are feeling sleepy, they scratch their face. He used it to scratch my sisters and brothers. It was not a simple issue. Then we vacated and we reopened school, and the child was not coming to school. So I called the mother. Oh, where's my son? You have not brought him to school. Madam. Just last week, I took hot water that I was going to bath the child, and no, I left it there, and the child fell into the hot water. I said, we went to visit the boy and everything. I was looking at the mother. So let them know. Create complicated situations for them and let them find a way out. It makes them resourceful and resilient, as Sewa has said. A sense of entitlement. Children today have a sense of entitlement. Okay, we are about to finish. Rewards and consequences are acceptable. I talked about it. If they do something that is not acceptable, there should be a consequence. If they do something that is acceptable, there should be a reward. And then chivalry. Chivalry is very, very acceptable. Knowing how to eat when at table, knowing what to do, what not to do in public, is called chivalry. for the men, opening the door for a lady, pulling a chair for a lady to sit down, all those things. It is very much still alive. And it should be encouraged. The last one for today is that service is acceptable. Teach your child, your girl child, to be serviceable. When she goes somewhere and we are serving, she should not sit and play on her phone. She should offer to help. If she goes with you to your friend's house and there's something going on, if an older person drops their bag, she should offer to lift it up for them. If she goes to meet an older person, I remember going to church. I went with my young daughter. And in our church, the men are the ushers. So they come to church on Saturday to clean up. But most of the time, the choir is there as well. Now, because they've said that the ushers should be men, the choir were sitting there and they were not doing anything. I told my daughter, get down from the car and go and collect. One of them was a pastor. I told her, go and collect the broom from the pastor and sweep. She was looking at me. Hurry up and go and collect the broom. She went to collect the broom and she swept. She helped them to clean and everything. When she came back, she was smiling. I asked her, why are you smiling? She said, they said they were very happy. They are grateful for me. I said, yes. You see, she was happy. They showed the gratefulness to her. All these other small girls were sitting down and looking at their phone because they say it is the men who should sweep. Service is acceptable. And let your girl child know that. My dear sisters and brothers, all too soon we have come to the end of another beautiful Rena Speaks on how my daughter can be different. I believe that there are so many more things that can make our daughters different. So many more easy things. You see that these things, they are not any wild things, but they are what make our daughters different. And I know that even if this is not the only way, these form the basics that will propel them onto higher heights, into being different, to stand out, to look, when they go somewhere, they stand out. People wonder, so who trained? Why is this child so different? It is because you, the father, you, the mother, have given them a certain training. We are also going to talk about how a father should relate. After these, we are going to talk about how a father should relate to a daughter, so that as the daughter grows up, she has an idea of who she should have if she decides to marry, who she should have as a husband, who she should pick as a male friend, and vice versa for the females, for the males as well. Who should they choose as a wife, or who should they choose as friends, female friends? I want to say that as usual, I am so grateful, so very grateful that you joined me and that you helped to make this talk a very, very beautiful one. Thank you so much to be part. Thank you so much for being part of this talk. Thank you so much for joining and for inviting other people. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep liking. Let's keep forwarding topics you think that we can treat together. And very soon I'm going to be asking some of us to join us on a panel so that we can talk as a whole and give ideas. Because I know that all of us here have very, very great ideas that we can share. God bless you. And remember my brothers and sisters, Olorun is Agbaye. God is mighty. Hey, Lady Icon, I didn't know you were here. I didn't see you. Welcome, Amma Duncan. Welcome. One of my great mentors and the founder of the Fabulous Woman community. She's a great woman. One day she's going to be here all alone talking. You see, when she smiles, your heart will just, you're like, oh my God, was that a smile? And you'll be so melted. Thank you for joining, Amma. Thank you for joining everybody. God bless you. God is mighty. Olorun Agbaye. Bye, everybody. Have a good night and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.